Well, folks, good morning, good evening. As you can see, me and Seku, we're on here today. Nobody's too big yet. Let's share it. As you join us, let's share the show, folks. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today's a very, 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 very good day. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, good weather. Let's share the show. Let's share the show, please.
Yeah, Marcel, let me share the show too.
Yeah.
Did you send the link to Mabel and other guys?
Melbourne talk about not to Monk. Yeah, about to send it to him.
You
About to send the link to Monk. Melbourne already has access, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I sent it to Monk then.
You send it?
No, see, then, but you can send it to Monk.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Arizona changing. It's getting cold now.
Yeah, but the weather very, very nice.
Yeah, very beautiful.
A very, very, very beautiful weather.
Very Nomojicha.
Yeah.
I was speaking Basa today.
Yeah, but not bad.
Basa mean very good. Because I was speaking that Basa because of Yumutro Kanga. That much she don't want teaching me.
You understand Basa people.
Yeah.
Why Melbourne can always come with two things?
What do you mean?
They want him. He will not connect to the one. He will come with another one.
I don't know. Yeah, you can get two stuff going on.
But then Melbourne are people.
Not a people. When you get two speakers, like bro, getting two things and not bad. I would just be surprised you will not have two presidents at some point.
That direct we plugging weather now.
I say I would be surprised.
You want me rescue and then to come for you now because who has the city kind of thing and then they all in their feelings.
But I'm me doing it.
The rescuers are coming for you. My people, that Mr. Kane talking about two presidents.
I say I would be surprised if we don't have that at some point. Everything is possible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Folks, let's share the show as you join us. I say I can start sharing the show. Yeah, I sent it to him. Mr. Kane. I just sent it to him. Let me see.
Yeah, so let's see here too. I don't know if I already did. Oh, yeah. So I mean, what's going on, man? What's going on? People got to share the show. Let's share the show. Let's share the show. Smith we have two speakers in the RASCA mission. I don't know if it's a RASCA mission or risky mission, whatever that this is. Something I think is not correct. Buena. Maybe why you man want to sandwich me like that?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. Yeah, I wanted to come like way back. The people used to watch the kind of movies. I think that people like you, yes, indeed, Seku, where you just see people flying, but you don't even know as to what makes them to be flying. We will be thinking, damn, man, that person powerful. None knew that was rope, hanging on them, that make them to be jumping from another place to another place, or sometimes because of maybe the studio, the way the studio look and everything and the editing and so on. So when you're not careful, sometimes you go back, peek in back in. Now what you did to us. Anyway, good evening. How you? In fact, how you emotion?
I'm contesting to be Take a guess. Contesting for what? Take a guess. I'm contesting for something right now. What do you think that could be?
Well, first of all, I know that there are so many
Okay,
things.
you're wasting time. I want to be the speaker, the test speaker.
Oh yes.
You
Well,
know,
I said,
you know,
speaking
can
back.
contest for, I don't know about Labro. You know, you can contest for speakership even if you're not part of the House of Representatives.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can contest for anybody. Can contest for speaker.
Wow, that's great.
So I won't
Okay.
contest for speaker. Say the 2 point.
So which one? I hope you're not being part of the speaker that will be sitting down somewhere.
No,
and
my own. I will start working with JNB right away.
Yeah.
I'll not waste time.
Oh, okay. You will function. You will function.
Before
Right?
I will start working with JNB right away.
All right.
My sister should run for senator. You know what? Why not me run for senator in 2029 for Musolaro? Yeah, we can have it. I think I should look in that direction.
Yes. You know.
I don't know whether I will get I'll get the necessary vote, but if I be elected, I'm not going to be light. I'll be fire. I'm not going to be the light. I don't want no fake light. I won't be fire. You touch me, you burn. Yeah.
The problem.
I think
even participate in the Liberal leadership, they could even be frank. I agree with her. But for you to even participate and even win, Sekou, let me tell you, they can assist them to work with this system. You can come with your clean clothes, you will molly it. So
no way.
No way.
My clothes will never be muddy, my man. Let me tell you something. You know, after living in this country for about 20 years, over 20 years now, I've been in America, even though I've gone to Africa and back. But I've lived in this country consistently for over 20 years. And out of that, I've lived in 2 distinct states, very good states, the likes of Minnesota and that of Arizona. And I've been involved in politics, not only in Liberia, but also in the United States.
Yeah, because I
am a registered Democrat.
Okay.
And I participate in democratic process.
Okay.
I have participated in electing governors, state senators.
Bring your profile. Baku is strong. Bring your profile.
So I participated in a lot of the democratic process, and I understand politics. Beyond that, I know Liberia. I understand Liberia. Born and raised in Liberia. Work in some, security apparatus, knowing what our people, are going through, understanding everything. If I run for senator in Liberia, I think I can win. And I'm not going to second guess myself whether or not if I win. No, I know if I run, I will win.
So you don't want to promise us?
Yeah, because the thing is, everyone's not going to like me, but those who want to see a different Liberia or better Liberia will support me, regardless of my stand in the past, regardless of who I've supported, who I've not supported, regardless of my role as someone working in the media. Trust me, if I run, I think I can win.
Well, folks, Sekou say if he chooses to run, he will win. But let's start there.
They're considering it, 2020, 2029.
Let's get the show started, Mr. Kane. Just so you know.
Steve, they make giving breaking news.
My man, slow down. You've been running for Deaconship. I don't know how long you win anything you
because I talk about me running for the senator and I'm more showing your face.
Wow.
Why telling me say I got his support because he made showing face.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
Moses.
I'm about to get off camera. I'm just setting up here. It's so cold in the garage here. I got to get away from my guys in the basement. It's so noisy. They're playing out there, and I got my little portable heat here.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Let me show you guys something.
That's
So
cool.
keep
That's
me.
cool.
You see the portable heat?
It's nice though.
Oh,
Yeah, but more, let me ask you a question before you go off camera. When you go off camera, answer the question. Are you going to support Sepu's bid for senatorial candidate in Liberia? What say you?
Why not? He could give you a shot. That's politics.
No, you support him, man. You support him, man.
Yeah, I can take a bet for Seku. All depends. I don't know which locality he's going to be contesting and his chances, but I could support Seku in his bid to become a lawmaker or whatsoever he chooses to become.
No, me the only way I want to see the only condition I get to never get to the attire board. I want to see how much roast that mean will give me a attire. I will evaluate that, then I will determine my support.
Most will not support that your idea.
But for now, I still
I can't use attire and roasted me as a condition to support me.
yeah. Then I mean, that really Moses. You see now, Moses was talking about us here back home voting, and then we want to vote. Now yeah, he talking at this. Moses, look, Segu will back. Yeah.
What about you? Can I come?
I support you 100%.
100%.
I support you 100% because based on your character, based on all of your life, all of the time you've been living for, background check, and so forth, I can now safely tell you that indeed you are qualified 100% more than even some senator that were here today who can even talk.
Somebody say the way Labrador they will have voted for Steve because he's fire for fire. Simple is too quiet.
Yeah,
no, be quiet though.
Even still going in our house, still not
that terrain too rough. No, let me say that terrain too rough for. Let me say that the typical Liberian people in Liberia, the mindset again, they believe in people who they let higher people. They not let you say. They not let you say, and that's why you see some of the approaches we take. So you start acting soft and cool. They won't use you. They won't abuse you and so forth. And for me, I don't play like that.
But guess what, Steve? Steve? If you are or maybe opportune to become senator, and maybe you want to be too radical or so on, all of your salaries, all of your amenities, everything be seized. Now,
did that story, man? Did that story?
No, listen now. Listen. It's not about living story. This is how people fall. Great people fall because the kind of a governance system we have here. So I'm just asking you now, with all of your style of doing things, handling situation, if you have been opportune, maybe to become senator, and the system that we have here today, maybe you can easily cope with it. What are you going to do next? Are you going to resign?
I can cope with the system.
Hello. Have you going to resign like former president man and just leave, or you going to hold on and be collecting your past salaries and so forth?
No, but let me tell you something. If there's one thing that you haven't noticed, about me, I'm very consistent. I can't lead things with God. I don't do that thing where you got in Liberia. I'm a Liberian, but I don't have that Liberian mindset. And guess what? I'm adaptable. If I were ever to put my foot in Liberia for senator or representative, whatever it is, or in position, I will stick with what the law say. Let me tell you something. It's not about the majority.
You collect your salaries.
It's about what the right thing to be done, what the law is, and that's what we're going to discuss today. Anyway,
and you collect your salary.
What?
And you collect the 15,000, all of the benefits and everything per month.
No, collect with 15,000. Now, I'm asking you, collect with 15,000.
I mean the salaries, all of the government, the money that been given to senators and that are represented that we all work criticizing. Are you going to collect all of them or some of the money, or is that going to waive? Yeah.
Is that the salary on books?
Yes.
Okay, so then why are you asking me if I would take pay now? How you say somebody go to work again take pay? What wrong with you?
For me, I don't see myself running for public office. They say never, but I don't think I am built for that. I don't think the nature of politics will permit me to run for public office. The nature of the sport, the way the game is played, and based on my own conviction, I could support someone in politics, but I don't see myself, or I won't see myself running for public office in my lifetime. I don't think so.
No, I agree with you.
So,
My man,
so
Melbourne,
yeah.
Melbourne, you ask a question and you just leave the show, laughing.
No, I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody, I don't know, maybe like internet or the system get me out. Well, actually.
Anyway,
Go
let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. Because we got
I want to answer my question.
okay, what a question.
So, I want to be fair enough to the Liberian people. When you become senator, like Senator Dawes did,
Yes.
will you cut your salaries and give it back to the poor people, or you're going to collect the same salaries, the same incentives, all of the benefits, everything?
Well, that's a very good question, Melbourne. The reason why you see Senator Darius Dillon has not been consistent is because Senator Darius Dillon himself is a fraud. He is a liar. So if I make a public pronouncement that I will give 50% of my salary or whatever it is, which will be a personal decision that has to be made, I have to commit to that. And I will ensure that before I make that decision, I'm not going to make a jittery or impulsive statement or to make people feel good or to lie to them or to cajole them to vote for me. This is where politicians put a foot in the mouth. Because they think they got to say things that will impress people, but some of us, we are so clear on certain issues and we're so straightforward on certain things. Guess what? We'll say as it is. Even you vote for it, you not vote for it, we'll talk as it is. And that's how some of us are wired. And so that's why Monk said earlier, and I want to agree with Monk, I want to agree with Sekou. Maybe some of us are not built to serve in public office in Liberia. I'll be very honest with you. Because of the characteristics and the stance that we take. For example, I'm not going there to say, oh, the president embezzled. If the president stole, I will say the president's on roll. I'm not speaking your language. I'm speaking the truth. I will be descriptive and I'll be clear about my communication. So that's it. Yeah, because can I say what you say so we can get we can get
Yeah, so, we're not getting you are muted.
So what I'm saying, I'm considering I'm very, much thinking about running for senator in 2029.
Okay.
I'm considering it seriously. Because it looks like some of us are needed in Liberia to change that country. It's not about being hot. It's not about being fiery or whatever. It's about being consistent and know what you're doing and doing the right thing.
Leadership.
For the people. It's all about leadership.
Leadership.
Yeah. So for me personally, I think we can do a lot in Liberia.
Yep.
I think we can do a lot. We can change a lot of people. We can change a lot of minds. I'm not talking about ordinary people, but people who are already working. It takes one person to start something. You don't want to be like Dillon, who went there and people trusted him, people supported him, giving him the necessary support. But by the time he got there, then he changed to something else. Liberia is like any other country. If you look at Liberia in the United States, our constitution, most of our laws are modeled after the United States. Just like we are not applying the laws on the books. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know what will happen between now and then, but I'm considering it. I'm not going to jump to say I'm running for president. I'm running for vice president. No. I want to run for like senator. I want to be senator in Monserrado, or maybe I'll go in my county, Nimba. But I have a better. To me, I think I have a better chance in Monserrado than Nimba County.
30 seconds, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Why can't you start maybe bit by bit? Someone would say, Ali, maybe from the district level, and before moving up straight to the senatorial level. Why you don't want to maybe be senator right away instead of you maybe becoming representative for a district, so that we can see.
I'm looking at the impact you're going to have.
Okay.
As a senator, you have a bigger take than representative, especially the governing system of Liberia. Most of the people that ran for representative in the past, somebody can win, but they go there, you can't hear about them anymore until the next election. Because they can just go there just to collect paycheck, collect deals, be part of the corrupt system and make money for themselves. And most of the, let's say, confirmation of, cabinet ministers or directors or other government agencies, the confirmations are done by the Senate, right? The senator, even in abroad, the senator, they put in the respect senators more than representatives. I don't know why. They call them adults, even though their behavior are not like adults. But again, somebody said my beating is loading. I don't know who's going to beat me. I don't even know who I'm going to be running against. So you said my beating is loading.
So what difference you think you're going to make as an individual?
I mean, don't start interviewing me. Yeah, I said I'm considering. I'm considering it. So I've not made up my mind 100%. I'm considering.
Oh, I take it back. I take it back.
So you can quiz me when I make up my mind and I'm all in. You can ask me any questions you want.
All right, I take it back. But Steve, let's move on with the show.
Yeah,
even though today is Saturday, so to our people yesterday, mind you, some of you yesterday you forget that maybe you are not able to chip in more. We stay in a week.
Today they know the routine today and tomorrow. Tomorrow the final day for the week. We don't do anything past Sunday. So usually when we make an announcement on Friday and people show up on Friday, we still push it to Saturday and Sunday. Sunday being the deadline. So it's the same thing. Nothing changed.
Yeah. So
the cash tab and the sales number is available.
Were you on yesterday?
Yeah, I came on yesterday.
And they didn't do nothing, right? Anything.
I tell you, every time you're not here on Friday, it almost like I don't know how many times we're going to explain it because the numbers are available.
I was supposed to be on the show, but yesterday, what happened? I wake up late, or like 25 minutes, was left on the show. I didn't want to come and just interrupt the whatever course you guys were on, so I decided just to let it go because I overslept. I told Steve I was going to be on.
I think when they are hearing, the one thing I noticed, I think when you keep giving update, I think that too can be a motivational process for them. I know that when you say maybe 3% visited the basket, they can say, okay, we got to, because once you are not here, no matter how many times you announce it, that's it's not going to work. That's why I noticed so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, like you said, if they don't do it on Friday, Saturday they can do it now up to Sunday.
The last day, today and tomorrow. That's it before we go to the Thanksgiving.
You know what, Melbourne? Before we even start the show, the day I ready for that office position to run for office in Liberia. You know me, I got plenty of history. When you get women support, you're good.
Okay.
So I got plenty of history that will support me from here, from all the way back home too.
Okay. That's
plenty.
Great.
Plenty. Okay. I will get more women support than the men.
because we need a possible replacement, in fact, energetic, someone that's going to transform Maserado. If you say you want to run here in Maserado, that will replace Darius Dino. Or Senator Darius Dino.
Whoever going to be running 2029, I will be running against that person.
So
maybe
we running. Don't put him in situation again.
Yeah, we heard that they don't run away to go to.
Please, Melbourne, don't bring noise on the show here to do.
I'm not saying replacement. I'm not saying running.
Yeah, they're not running again. Don't bring noise on the show. You can replace the man. You won't be Ticon. You can also be a politician. Ticon can be politician in the country. You start from the church, and then you what they call. But when I get to the show about bakery, about me. But anyway, folks, thank you for following us. Thank you for joining us this morning in Arizona here. So some of you is in the afternoon, some of you is at night. Those of you following the radio will say thank you so much. Today we have a lot to cover. Let's quickly divert to Melbourne so he can give us some quick updates. Melbourne, quick update. What's going on in the country? What's the latest and what's new before we get into the conversation today?
Well, so again, thanks to all of you. And Ayesha, today is Saturday, the weekend. So many people are on their feet, hustling for the weekend, and other people are relaxing home. And today, the 23rd of November, the 11th month. So few days from now, we'll be entering the festive season. So we are experiencing a lot of things happening. Like, for example, the exchange rates, the rate keep dropping from 195 up to 180, some places 175, 176, 178, but the prices still remain the same. Even the petrol or the gasoline price also dropped, but again, transport fare still the same. So Liberians are a bit frustrated when it comes to how things are running, especially how things going when it comes to the U.S. rate dropping and things pricing the same, and also when it comes to the petroleum price dropping and still transportation fare stay the same. So again, waking up again this afternoon, I think between uh, 2 to 3 this afternoon, Liberian got up with the news coming from the Supreme Court about all of the holding and putting between our lower house or the House of Representatives, where we have two black. We have the anti-Kofa black, and we have the Kofa black. Mind you, we have two speakers, quote unquote, in Liberia. So according to the Supreme Court, they are telling us that uh, uh, the lawmakers should go back to their working place or to where they used to work before and do their normal thing and until what they are observing or what they're going to pump into. That means what they're going to be looking at, and they're also going to observe all of the happening, and they will take that decision. But they also call for conference also between uh, the anti-Kofa bloc and that of the Kofa bloc. But again, the Justice Minister has been someone also in this situation. So so far, so good, Steve, Mark, and Seku. These are some of the happening back home in Liberia with the entire House of Representatives Saka still continue and they are met with actions. Liberia are so disappointed with the way things are going, and President Joseph Yema Bwaka continue to remain mute on the issues.
Well, thank you, Melbourne. Melbourne, let me disagree with you that President Joseph Barker continued to remain mute. President Joseph Barker has spoken. Um, President Joseph Barker is clear where he stands on this issue. President Joseph Barker has spoken. So he is not mute. The government has spoken. The fact that the government sent the budget to the majority black in itself is taking a position in the side. But I just want to clarify that. Folks, thank you. Just for the record, before we get into the conversation, on SKTV, we predicted that Fanati Kofa would win in the courts should this thing go to the court based on how the majority black acted. We predicted that. We are seeing signs, even though they haven't ruled yet. There's an order. The Supreme Court have not ruled. They are yet to go into a conference room or committee or state in a committee, however you want to term it as. We are looking at what the situation will be. Mr. Kane and Monk and Milburn, let's start the conversation today. First of all, let's start the conversation. Let's go back. Let's go back to something that's very important because we want to lay the basis here and the premise for this conversation today. How did we get here? Let's start with Mom. Mom, how did we get here? Let's not talk about the court ruling, anything yet. How did we get here? This is not the executive. This is not the judiciary. This is the first branch of government, the legislature. How did we get here?
Well, we got here because of corrupt practices. I told you in politics, it's all about power and influence. They got some people that got money, but they got people that want more than money. And that's what politics gave you. It gave you power. And when you give people power, the only thing they can pray for is to get more power. People feel satisfied, they feel fulfilled in life when they are given more power. It's all about leverage. It's all about the control of the budget. It's all about becoming rich overnight in the case of Liberia. So it's not about the constitution. It's all about who will sit on committee, who will determine the largest or the biggest instrument in the bureaucracy in Liberia, which happens to be the budget. That's how we got here. Everybody is juggling for voice, for opinion, for power, in order to determine the budget, whether it's the upper or the lower house, whether it's the executive or even, I mean, the last I checked, even the Supreme Court Chief Justice said they wanted their fair share of the budget. So it's not about the respect for the rule of law. It's not about the constitutional aspect. It's not about the ordinary Liberian. It's all about how much those that are in power can get from the national budget. It's the biggest cake on the table, and everybody's trying to get a slice of that cake. The question is the size as to which one they can assume or which one they crave for is all they are fighting for. That's what got us here. It has nothing to do with any illegality or the respect for the rule of law. It's all about a budget. Don't forget, your finance minister just gave you an update that there will be a 15% increment. I mean, last time we checked, it was $732 million. The original was 692. I don't know, by some magical mean they came out to 792. I mean, 732 that they couldn't raise. Now they're telling you the budget will be anywhere between what 815 million. We are going close to $1 billion. So if you are ordinary lawmaker and you hear that within 2 budget cycles that the speaker was able to work with anywhere between 7.4 to close to 8 million, why make you think you want to sit there and not get your fair share? So the more the budget increases, it means there will be more money on the table left to be stolen, and everybody wants that slice of the pie. That's why we are here. It has nothing to do with the speaker or who won this. No, it's all about the budget at the end of the day. That's what it's all about.
Mr. Kana, how do we get here? What do you say?
I'm not gonna go too far away from monks and monks in the section because I think it's all about greed. It's all about what goes to my pocket, and nobody cares about the country. And this starts with the voters. So we got here because we continue to vote for people who are yet to show any out of decency in terms of what they can do for the country. It's all been about what is good for them, what is good for their pocket. And the fight has always been about who get the lion's shares of the cake, of the pie. So even as we speak right now, we are not getting to the real meat of the conversation, but I can tell you it's all about what they can get for themselves. It's nothing but the country. And if you are electing people of that nature, knowing that they got nothing absolutely to do for you, and you consistently voting for them, then you are having what we call self-inflicted wounds. Whatever's going on Liberia right now are caused by the Liberians themselves, the voters. This is exactly what they want, and that's what they're getting. So no surprises.
That's an interesting take. I will start the other question will move on quickly, and I'll run back to both of you guys. How does this play out from an international standpoint? Before we come to the meat of the issue, like Mr. Cannon said, how does this whole thing play out from an international standpoint in terms of, attracting investors, bringing people to the country? How does it play out? Melbourne, what is the image of Liberia right now as we speak?
Well, so again, Steve, it is indeed frustrating, and so now I'm watching a video. Let me just quickly, in passing to what people were saying. I think this video comes from Nima County, or from Ganta, where some of the rescue officials, where they are, and they are enjoying themselves, enjoying swimming in the pool, and so forth. I'm seeing Corina Kra, I'm seeing Mo Ali, and I'm seeing Patrick. One of the this person I can't easily identify this person. But let me read one comment that indeed caught my attention from this video quickly, Steve. So somebody asked, everything is all right in this country now. Nobody's suffering again. That's the question, or that's the thing that been said by the person. Then somebody commented, the person asked the local, nobody's suffering. Say, we now have everything together in Liberia. We are now respecting the rule of law. The health sector is okay. All of the hospitals across Liberia have medicine. Doctors, securities, and teachers are all well paid. The education system isn't a mess anymore. No Zogo in the street. Say, all I can say is that politics have caused Liberia more harms than good. the loud talkers of yesterday and the sudden talkers of today, and the sudden talkers of yesterday are the loud talkers of today. So, Steve, I don't know what to go anymore.
Okay.
Again,
So,
that's the country.
Monk, same question to you. What does this impasse or this noise from the first branch of government, what kind of image does it present of the country or about Liberia to the world? But moreover, how does this attract investors and other serious-minded people who want to come and do deals and so forth? Because mind you, per the Constitution, deals and things like that have to be ratified in the House. They got to concur on it. What say you?
Well, it sends a negative image and a negative picture about the country. The thing is, in life, Steve, it's not about encountering difficulties or challenges because the impasses they happen in other countries. The thing is your ability to resolve a problem whenever you encounter one, your ability to react to a problem. That's what life is all about. It's not about how many obstacles you run into, but your ability to handle them. In the case of our country, it's just one after another. We are seeing people in parliamentary building fighting, but at the end of the day, they will be able to handle business in our country, from the executive to lawmakers to your Supreme Court. It's just one after another. And when you are hoping that you can do any better from an international standpoint, from an investment standpoint, from a business standpoint, I tell people all the time, smart money hits on society that is not stable. That's why you see countries like Rwanda and the Ghana of the world, they are attracting investors after investors because they are politically and economically stable. In your country, the people who are supposed to put the law on the books, if they cannot even handle their own business and they are on the verge of pushing the country into a constitutional crisis, what make you think a businessman or someone, a legal investor, will want to make an investment like bro? So overall, the picture is negative, either way you look at it.
I really would have a second to tackle this question, man, but he had to leave abruptly. But we'll come back to it. Monk, based on what you just said, because perception is critically important. And sometimes we joke with these things, we play with these things, and we think that these are normal things, like President Joseph Yumabwaka said yesterday in Sierra Leone or wherever he was. Okay, Siko is coming. Yeah, I really want for Siko to tackle this question. Mr. Kane, I wanted you to tackle this question. I did not want to skip you on this question. Monk made an important point about, other countries going through these kind of things, not similar things, but having, conversations in the House, going at it neck and neck. Sometimes they even get to face fight, but yet they're able to resume work and kind of reassure the public, reassure the world, and so forth that they're working. Here is my question to you, Mr. Kane. In addition to the question that's already on the table, here's my question to you, Mr. Kane. Can Liberia pull through this? Can they host a representative as it is now? After everything, can they still work together?
First of all, speaking of the image of the country, what this means for Liberia in terms of from an international standpoint, it means that the country is unstable, the government is unstable, the government is incoherent, and the people themselves, they are with no priorities. They don't know what they want. So that scares away investors, scares away anybody who wants to come to business in the country. What can actually attract investors or anybody from outside is a conducive condition, a conducive environment where you have law and order, where you have rule of laws, where people will not be afraid just in case if they come to invest, if somebody trying to, play with them, there will be law that will take a course. But there's no law and order, and there's no respect for the rule of laws. Those who are supposed to be lawmakers are lawbreakers. Those who are supposed to enforce the law are also lawbreakers. Those who are supposed to interpret the law are also being somehow in cahoot or corrupt among the people. So nobody to depend on. So if you have a country like that, you scare away people who want to invest their money because they know the country is already corrupt. But if there was a rule of law, at least, or somebody try to corrupt on you, or somebody try to, you know, take your money wrongfully, you have a law. But that's not the Liberia we have right now. The country is completely outlawed, and we have a leadership crisis. We at the top level, whether it's the presidency, the president is not acting like one. And the speaker, the House of Representatives, they are now actually proceeding correctly. There is no hope. Their attitude, their behavior. You know, sometimes we can laugh with these things. Sometimes we can be joking about some of the happenings. But on the serious note, this is very discouraging for a country like Liberia. Imagine, you know, I read something to the American was saying we have lost a year. That is admitting that the government is a failure. American who cry on camera, being happy that being excited that he worked to making Joseph Boakai president. He's saying now that we have lost a year. That means the first year of Joseph Boakai government was a failure. If he can say that. And let me tell you something, Steve, and Mayborn and Monk. The way you think, the international community, they are looking at Liberia more than you think, more than you know. Whether it's the United States, whether it's the European Union, or any other powerful nations around the world, they are looking at Liberia very closely. And I can tell you, there's no hope for Liberia right now from the international standpoint. So nobody going to come invest their hard-earned money into that country where there's no law and order, no respect for the rule of law. Even lawmakers have no respect for the rule of law.
Okay. This is, I think Mr. Connor froze.
No, I think I'm good. It's you that is frozen, I believe. Maybe can you hear me? Monk, can you hear me? I think Steve.
I'm hearing you, Sekou. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yes, I'm getting you. I think that's Steve. Yes, I think it's Steve. But again, yeah, Steve.
Okay, I think back. Yeah, it was frozen. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Connor, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me ask the other question before we get into the actual debate or conversation for today, because I know we are all going to either be on different sides of the app or see it differently, as we always do on SKTV. Let's come to Joseph Boakai, because whether you like it or not, this is his administration. We talked for 6 years about the ineptitude, the incompetence, the disobedience to the rule of law under President George Weah and the CDC administration. We criticized them to the highest. I can record a couple of seditions, a couple of people were very mad at us every time we used the word incompetent and inept. Joseph Boakai admittedly claimed, and his people claimed, that he was the wisest man or politician alive. It's a fact that he's the odious politician maybe in Liberia right now that's in office. But it's also another fact that he's one of the longest serving politicians, or that has served throughout his life in politics. Here's my question to you guys. Is Joseph Boakai incompetent? Is he inept? And have we gotten to the point wherein we can maybe assume or say emphatically that Joseph Boakai is incapacitated? This is my question to you guys. Mong, let's start with you, please.
Well, I will go on the limb to say that he is, and from his action, the one thing that I know, there is a difference. There is a major difference between the two. You know, our people will always make excuses to validate their own pre-existing belief when it comes to politics. Just because someone has been in politics for long does not give them leadership. Leadership, when they want leadership, they come with certain attributes and qualities. That's what makes someone to be a leader. for the fact that you've been in government for 40 years does not automatically grant you the attributes. And Joseph Boakai displayed them on countless occasions before even rising to the the presidency. That one I know, whether it was the CPP, whether it was before the CPP. The one thing you would take from any leader is that sense of responsibility. Even when leaders, let me tell you, one great attribute of great leaders, when there is a problem, even if that problem is not from them, they will initially assume the responsibility of that problem. That one thing they'll do while they are looking for solution because they are in leadership position, they will take the responsibility. And one thing you observe from this old man, he never take responsibility for anything. Even under the government that he served for 12 unbroken years, he assumed that everything that was happening, he was acting in the role of some ceremonial position that it was the president's fault. Even though he was number 2 in command, he came to international conferences as far as coming to the White House on behalf of the Liberian government. But he never one day took responsibility for anything. That's one. And two, I keep telling people, they got different category of leadership. People got different idea on leadership. But the one thing you want from your leader is to know where to stand on every critical issue by being vocal. Because when leaders take position, they give you a clue as to where they stand. And then you who are the supporters, you know how to make an informed decision. But this is a man that weaponized his silence in politics to play games. And people don't realize that. There is nothing that this president can take a definitive position on. So how can you entrust someone with leadership when you don't even know where they stand on any critical issue? I know there are separation of power, but there are certain moves the president can make to give you an idea as to where he's leaning. In the case of Joseph Boakai, no, it will never happen. He will keep you guessing and forming your own theory, but he will never take critical position on any major thing. And that's how he's been operating. I don't expect him to change. Joseph Boakai is still old to learn new skills. That's just why it is, and that's how we keep operating for the next 6 years. Nothing going to change.
Let me infuse this in a question into Mr. Kane. I got some inbox message from some friends and some good people who are very concerned. Some people who care about Liberia, who I respect their stance on some national issues, and they're saying, well, I think the incapacitated word in the last question was it was overboard or whatever. But Mr. Kane, let me infuse this into that as to what prompted this incapacitated word. First thing first, one of the very first person that used this word incapacitated for one of the very first time was Honorable Yeke Koluba as part of the advocacy and some of the things you were saying. But the reason I'm saying this is because the reason I'm infusing this part of it in there is because 1 minute President Joseph Boakai seemed to know what's going on. Another minute, he doesn't seem to know what's going on. Another minute, he's in charge of the government. Another minute, he's not in charge of the government per his supporters and per Unity Party partisans. So, Mr. Kane, the same question comes to you. Is Joseph Boakai inept, incompetent, and incapacitated to run this country at this time of his life?
Actually, unmuted?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I hear you now.
All right, so from all indications, President Boakai is not up to the task. And that is, it's not anything new. This is something that we know. Amidst everything going on right now, amidst the government being stalled, the legislature not being working, Boakai's budget is pending. Boakai is having fun in Sierra Leone. I read something on the Executive Mansion's Facebook page. If Joseph Boakai was, I'm not trying to be tribalistic here, but I'm just being honest. If Joseph Boakai was from, let's say, a Mandingo tribe, and Joseph Boakai goes to Zerikore and celebrating with his people there, the way Joseph Boakai is doing right now in Canada, and with his statement written by the Executive Mansion, this would have been a different story in Liberia today.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read in part the first paragraph. We say President Boakai's rekindles.
Can you share with us, please? Can you share with the audience?
Yeah, I will. Okay, I can do that.
Yes, please.
It said President Boakai rekindled ties. You know, it said President Boakai rekindled ties in Kenema, celebrate ties with Kosa. During his heartwarming stop in Kenema, Sierra Leone, President Joseph Boakai reflected on his formative years. Listen to the word formative years spent in the city. As a former student of the Kenema Secondary School, President Boakai joined the Kenema All Students Association to commemorate his deep-rooted connection to the institution and the community. That's in Kenema. When the country is struggling, the country is in crisis, Joseph Boakai is celebrating. In Kenema, area that they call his home, his place, his community. When the country he's serving as president struggles, languishing in confusion and stalemate. If Joseph Boakai was a Maringo man in Bela or is there right now, people will say that they made a Guinean. They may have more loyalty to Guinea more than Liberia. That's what you'll be saying. Let's call a spade a spade. Joseph Boakai's attitude at this point proves that he has no or limited loyalty to Liberia. You know, I watched a video. One of the speakers in that event, that person said, this man here is part of this community. This man here, this president here is part of this society. This man here is from here. Listen to those comments. If this was somebody else, let's say, for example, George Weah goes to Ghana and say, you know, and shows some level of connection and these kinds of statements coming from the people there in the executive mansion, leaving the country in crisis to go and celebrate in Kenema. If this was somebody else, Unity Party people would have put the country on fire right now. Honestly speaking. So this is in response to your comment, Steve. Joseph Boakai's behavior does not only prove that he is incompetent, he's inept, that he has no understanding of leadership, that everything he touches dies. It's also proving that Joseph Boakai has zero commitment to Liberia. You know, we stated this before. When Joseph Boakai got his first job at LPMC, the first place he built a modern structure was in Sierra Leone. These things came out during the campaign. We talk about it. People thought it was all about campaigning. Now we are seeing the facts. This man has no loyalty to Liberia. He cares less about the future of the country. Whatever happened to the country, that are his business. All he wanted is to be elected, exploit the resources of the country, invest enough in Sierra Leone, take enough money there, invest enough in his family, invest enough in his entire lineage, wherein after Joseph Boakai presidency, they will never be poor again. Forever. at the expense of Liberia and the Liberian people. So if you ask me in terms of inaptitude or incompetency, I think Joseph Boakai passed all the thresholds. He has no loyalty to Liberia. That's even important. Okay. And his commitment, then his ability to lead. Sometimes you may not be capable, you may not have some competency, but commitment and love for country can make you to do certain things. But you show no interest.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me say this quickly before we get into let me say this quickly. And because I'm from Lofa, so I want to make this a little personal to some extent to all of the people from Lofa listening. You overwhelmingly supported Joseph Human Boakai in the name or you own Lofa Solidarity or whatever it is, that Lofa time. Some of you call meetings. Some of the chat rooms, some of us are part of. Some of you in there blatantly support Joseph Boakai because of tribal affiliations and association. Everything he's doing, it's good, and the other people came from the other content, they their own. That's your mindset. But I want you to reflect 1 minute. I want you to think about it 1 minute. Since Joseph Boakai won the election, he has not even come back to you in Lofa County to say thank you for your support. Let me forget about Lofa County. Because it will say too far. Just Monserrato, where he lives on rehab. I know Joseph Boakai house. He lives right on rehab. He even called a community meeting to tell the community people, thank you for voting me. He went to Sierra Leone, where they never voted for him there. And he meeting with his 7th grade classmate there in Sierra Leone. When we talk, you say we hate the party, we hate the government. But I will leave it on the Liberian board of Josh. It's up to you.
But Steve, if the executive mansion, say, can use this phrase that Boakai reflected on his formative years.
Yeah, those are the most important years in your life. That's a foundational part of your life.
Years.
So that means you owe nothing to the country.
Yeah, you owe everything to Sierra Leone.
To Sierra Leone. And that's the interpretation. That's the interpretation.
If I don't know, their lawyers and their so-called intellectuals can really read and understand before they post some of these things. But not only that, this is accompanied with his pictures, photos. This is a Boakai celebrating, wearing some kind of a uniform with his colleagues, with friends, with family members and his community in Sierra Leone. Monk, what do you make of the post alone? Not only his action, but the post by the executive mansion. And the statement, describing all of these things happening there. What do you think of this?
That's why professionalism matters. From their own statement, like you said, that particular phrase, formative year. Formative year happens to be the foundational time of your life that set the premise of your philosophy, the most important part, that learning stage of your life that will take you into adulthood. That's just what it means. So it's not only the fact of the matter of you wearing school uniform to reflect or to be with the people from Sierra Leone. For me, I know our country, we got mixed culture. That one thing I know. And you said it right. Had it been someone from Guinea, it would have been a whole different narrative. But that's the reality, whether you like it or not. And people said this thing before the election, and other people decided to downplay it. But like I said, in the case of Liberia, people will find excuses just to vote in order to satisfy their pre-existing belief. Even Yega Koluba, I can remember he said something like this, that Joseph Boakai is a Sierra Leonean. I don't know about that. I don't know about his family history, but from the executive mansion post and with the kind of an impasse going on, like I said, even if the president cannot verbally weigh in on the issue, for you to have such a crisis now and making a trip to Sierra Leone, I don't know how important that trip is for you to abandon the country and make that move. But we're not here to cry what spill milk. It's already it's the end of the day. I mean, he's the president now, so we just have to live with the consequence of the Boakai presidency for the next 5 years. Yeah, that's it. But that's the reality. Everything you said is true. The statement, his action, the impasse ongoing the country, that the entire country is on a constitutional crisis,
Yeah.
on a stalemate. Why is it's the same recklessness that the
you
previous
just
government
celebrating.
exhibited? Yeah, it's the same thing happening, no difference. Yeah.
Well, even to sum this up before we get into the conversation about the House of Representatives, it's summing up to one big word: Joseph Parker is ungrateful.
Of course.
Whether you like it or not. And this is no disrespect, but these are just the facts. But anyway, let's get to the House of Representatives. Let's get to the House of Representatives.
Before you get there, Mo, you made an announcement. You made an announcement on the contribution. People didn't do anything yesterday, so somebody sent us $100 to start up. So that's one person always giving us more money than anybody else. So for the record,
Yeah.
we want to say thank you. And as a female, she always say, "Don't call my name." So I want to say thank you to that person. And want to encourage everybody to support SKTV as always. If we can do it on Friday, we can do it on Saturday, we can do it on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
We appreciate everybody sending us penny. We appreciate it. Mabel and myself were talking in the back yesterday, this morning. We were even gossiping about you guys. Because Mabel was telling me, say, if it's we spend Sunday through Thursday talking politics. You say on Friday, we should focus a little more on, the donation and support from our people. And every time we pay attention to it, people can really come through. So we have to remind ourselves, as always, that we may not need all of the cash here in America, but to operate in Liberia 24/7 requires a lot of energy and time and commitment. So we appreciate this person sending us $100. Anybody, whatever you get. Monk said $20, at least $20 minimum. If we can get 30 people on a weekly basis.
That's a fair.
It doesn't have to be the same group of people every day, but we are actually, appreciative of the person who sent us this $100. If you get Zelle, if you get Cash App, support SKTV. Back to you, Steve.
We 600 people watching right now. So
but on the main screen we can see about 702.
700, yeah, wow, yeah. That's a lot of people to come up with 30 people with $20. I mean, you got full pressing already covered by one individual, but that's it. We get today and tomorrow to complete a week.
Yeah, so that's 5 people. So you get 25 to go. That one person paid for 5.
Yeah, that's 5 out of the 30. So we left with 25 more for the week, right? That is assuming that everybody paying $20. That's 5. Yeah, $20 is 5.
Still back
so
to
one person cover for 5. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Mr. Kana, thank you for the update. As we continue the show, I know we have some more time here, but let's delve into this really quick. The Supreme Court, before the Supreme Court could come up with this order, the question here is, the majority black went ahead and elected another speaker, which has probably never happened in our history. So this is new for us, very unprecedented. Where are we? Are we going to follow the Supreme Court state order, or is the House going to remain divided? And are they going to pass the budget? Mom, let's start with you. Where are we?
Well, for me, I think we are getting there gradually because some people keep quoting the provision of the Constitution. For me, I say until we get to that stage, I will always see it as a political matter. And the thing that caught my attention from the particular rate coming from the Supreme Court, mostly the full bench, I think the Minister of Justice was also included. The one thing that caught my attention was according to Fanatic Kofa petition, he said the action of the majority. He didn't say it violated the Constitution. He said it violates the procedural framework of the House.
Right.
So technically, even in his complaint, he still alluding to the fact that it's political rather than constitutional. Look, Steve, let me tell you something. Like I keep saying on this show, I will keep saying it for 1,000 times because it's good for you to say something repeatedly for people to understand. I know when it comes to the first branch of government, I keep saying it, there are two schools of thought. For Nanti Kofa making this particular move, it's not because he himself respects the Constitution. For Nanti Kofa believe that there are certain provisions in the Constitution that will increase his leverage in maintaining power. That's his view. Now, the majority of black, they believe that their argument is we can exploit loopholes in our standing orders and rules to remove this speaker without using the constitutional requirement. That's just why it is. So if you look at it technically, almost like if you were to take a boa constrictor and a eagle into a fight, the eagle want to take the snake in the air, right? He will want to make the air his venue because he believes he got leverage in the air. He will render the snake useless because the snake cannot balance. But that's his strength. And the snake will prevent fighting an eagle on the ground because he believes he can strike the eagle and the eagle cannot fly on the ground. So it's not about the law. They could care less about the law. They are all looking for leverages that they could use to get the desired outcome. That's just what it's all about. So for Antikova, I will look at things like Article 49, Article 43. But those guys looking at Article 8.1, Article 9.2 of the House Rule and Standing Order. So at the end of the day, the Supreme Court is just saying, you know what? Return to status quo ante until we can adjudicate the situation. Now, that is not even a guarantee for either side because you cannot tell how they are going to interpret the law. Matter of fact, even if they interpret the law, it will just be their opinion. And don't forget, like I keep saying, the Supreme Court cannot interpret law that does not exist. So this thing is still open-ended. The only difference is one group believe that we can use politics to get the desired outcome that we want, and one guy believe that, you know what, I may not be right, but maybe certain constitutional provision might play to my advantage, and in the end, I could retain my job. So that all you are witnessing from the Supreme Court. Until then, it's still open-ended.
Yeah, but let me push this question to Mr. Cannon because I think Monk makes a very good point. However, the rules or laws that they came up with, they didn't just look in the sky. They had to have looked at the Constitution and emanated from the Constitution. So that's why it was tailored to the court. But Mr. Cannon, let me ask you this question. Should we go by what Monk is saying, which is evidently where we're going to go? They were going to clean the political side as opposed to the legal side. Who do you think, or how do you think this particular thing can be settled for good?
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to go back to what we have said before. We have predicted this whole scenario, and the trend follows everything we have predicted so far on SK TV. We predicted that at the end of the day, the president is going to work with the majority bloc.
Yes.
And that happened. We predicted that they're going to remove Councillor J. Fonatikofa and replace him with somebody else from the Unity Party.
Yes.
And we saw that happening. We also predicted that eventually Councillor Kofa will run to the court, the Supreme Court. And that has happened as well.
Yes.
We also predicted that at the end of the day, the Supreme Court will do nothing. We are predicting at the end of the day, Supreme Court will do nothing. And even if Supreme Court is to say something, they have no enforcement power. It will not be respected. Even if they were to rule in favor of Fonati Kofa, it will not be respected. And they have no enforcement power that to say you have to go to work and go sit down under Fonati Kofa to be your speaker. So I see all of these things as an attempt to pacify the situation, knowing Liberia, knowing who Liberians are, because right now the tension is hot. It's all the way up there. They want to pacify the aggrieved party. They want to give them some time to reflect, to cool off. At the end of the day, Speaker Kofa will be gone. Richard Kum will be the speaker. And Joseph Boakai government will move on. Not because it is the law, not because that's the best way forward, but that is because they are the government. And in Liberia, when you are the government, when you are the executive, you get what you want. Plain and simple.
Okay, well, Mr. Cannon, that's a very, very good point. So does that mean that at this stage you're saying that these guys are not going to follow the Supreme Court ruling? They're going to do what they want to do because they help.
The Supreme Court told you in this statement that return to status quo antique.
Yeah.
It means we're not saying where you did were wrong.
Yeah.
All was right. But while we're looking at it,
yeah, you'll go back and do business as usual for now.
You'll go back to where you started from. And status quo antique in this particular phrase, it means that for Nati Kofa stay the speaker, and before the whole impasse started, wherever you guys were, you'll go back to that same position. But what I want other people to understand is that the Supreme Court cannot dictate the work of the House of the Legislature.
Yeah.
The Constitution gave the legislature the right to create their own rules and procedures that is governing that particular, and unless that procedures or rules contradict or contravene or somehow go against the Constitution, then it becomes a problem. But guess what? They will tell you we are working within the dictates of our rules, and it is within collaboration with the Constitution, and we committed no crime. We are given the authority by the Constitution, and whatever we did is legal, is constitutional. It is up to us how to interpret our own rule, not you.
Oh, okay. So
at the end of the day, I think I don't know what I sent you the horse rule. I sent it to Steve.
Yes,
I got it.
Okay, so if you go through that horse rule, let's even look at Article 49 of the Liberian Constitution. Let's talk about a speaker or deputy speaker or other officers of the House of Representatives can be removed for a cause per what? Per what, Steve? Among
for cause. I don't. Well, let me read 49, right?
Article 49.
Yeah, hold on 1 second here. I got it open. I got the Constitution.
Because what I'm trying to tell you here is that they say for a cause per resolution. And it's vague. The cause is not stipulated.
Yes, and I said it yesterday.
The cause is open in it.
The cause is not stipulated clearly. And resolution in this context, but all the people agreeing on a statement. You have resolved. Resolution means you X, Y, and Z happen. You went through X, Y, and Z. And then at the end of the day, you have resolved into X, Y, and Z. Who I agree. But doing so by coming and sign. I know 100% there were a lot of flaws in the process. We know that. But that's Liberia for you. As long as they get a number, no matter how they get it, they will say they got a number. And at the end of the day, the only person that's supposed to solve this problem in for Liberia standard is Joseph Boakai. And Joseph Boakai is with the people who are doing the art. So there's no way you can change this thing around. You will delay, you'll prolong it for the longest, but at the end of the day, it's gonna go Joseph Boakai's way. Just as what happened to let me do this in Councilor Justice Cabinet Janet, all the legal scholars, all the law students, the citizenry, everybody in Liberia said it was wrong, it was illegal. But guess what? All we are in CDC wanted it to happen. Guess what? It happened. And nothing would come out of it. And guess what? Georgia even used the Supreme Court to remove one of the Supreme Court justices. Because why? If you are the president in Liberia, if you are the executive in Liberia, you got all the money, you have all three branches of government in your pocket, you have the country in your pocket, you have the people, and nobody can change anything. The only person who change this thing here instantaneously, that will be the Liberian people. But let me tell you something.
Let me just read a quick statement from this so-called majority bloc from one of their members, Sekou.
Yeah.
Let me just read a statement from them. You know what it says, Steve? They said we will receive the communication from the Supreme Court on Tuesday on it in section where our speaker will be presiding. They didn't say Fanatic Kofado. They said, but the Supreme Court can't interfere with our administrative decision. Representative Kofa has been removed and we elected a new speaker already. They are telling you that even with the information, with the order coming from the Supreme Court, they know one thing for sure, that the Supreme Court cannot interfere with their administrative matter because they are getting certain limitations and certain leverage in our house. They are the only branch of government. I keep saying it on the show. Some of the people who are in their feelings, who are always interested in taking time, I am just saying, because even for Fanatic Kofa's own petition, he didn't say that they violated the Constitution. He said they violated the framework of the House rule and order. So why you are still pushing for the constitutional thing? Even the speaker, the embattled speaker, he's still saying it as a rule, he's still saying it as a politics, because the allegation being brought against the speaker, they talk about corruption, they talk about conflict of interest, they talk about poor leadership and ignoring our concern. These are all causes. So like Sekou said, they think about causes is open-ended. So no, because they got people who believe that the information coming from the Supreme Court means you're giving one side leverage or you're giving one side an advantage. That's a lie. It's still open-ended. Nobody knows how this thing is going to end, and we'll see how those guys will react based on the same law and the Constitution that people are referring to. It's
and more to close.
Quickly to both of you.
Yeah, Steve, just a second. At the end of the day, right, Steve? The only way this thing will reverse is when Joseph Boakai decides to go against his own conference. And you know that is impossible.
So I have a question, Sekou, quickly, Steve, for you and Monk. Are you telling, or are two of you telling the Liberian people that what's going on, it is illegal, but because maybe there's big hand or maybe political or hand that is behind this, so one way or the other, it's going to play out, or maybe the Constitution is going to be breached, or anything going to happen, no one cares? Is that why you, because we are still...
Let me respond to that quickly. I am not going to flat out say it's illegal, but I will say it's political. And politics, it's not about fairness. It's not about what is right. It's about what can work for you. That's how politics looks like. It's not about legality. It's not about fairness. It's about what works for you. Politics. When legality kicks in, then that's a different ballgame. But there are some issues that can be resolved politically. There are some issues that can be resolved legally. And this is a political matter. And I can tell you at the end of the day, it will be resolved politically.
Here is it. Let me say this. We've had some unprecedented things that have happened in our country, especially with the having two speakers or whatever it is. The court will not be able to solve this. Because like Sekou said and like Monk said, the court can even rule in the situation. These guys are hell bent on keeping their position.
Yeah.
It is clear. And not only that they're hell bent on keeping their position, but you can see for all indication that the executives support them. Don't make no mistake, Joseph Boakai is in full support of this other group. However, I believe the only way this situation can be solved, because even if the guys come together, there will still be noise and undermining, and people will want to revenge, people will want to do this and will do that. The only group of people that can solve this thing are the Liberian people. Let me say again, these guys that were elected to be leaders are unable to govern themselves to even be leader for the people. The only people that can solve this thing, that the citizens, I will say a year clear, only the Liberian people can solve the particular, no political leader can solve it. Joseph Boakai put it for you more already. Joey put it for you more from the beginning. Last minute, you want Allah, you want 15th, but you're not making it. Only the Liberian people will solve this thing. And until then, you will just be making the government a little stupid. You will make the Liberian people a little stupid. You will make yourself a little funny in the town. Only the Liberian people.
I think Shiva, after Mongo Melbourne, if you don't mind, you can open the line.
Yeah, but open the line.
Yeah, so that we can have enough time to listen to the people, and then we can also have time to respond to some of the concerns.
Yeah, let's open the line. You 100% is okay.
But before we do, let me just also report that after that, one person that sent the first $100, another person sent $100.
Oh,
yeah, and then another person sent $25.
So that's Benjamin Day, right?
For what I can Benjamin what?
Hey, got two people are saying I said today that Benjamin Day and that Benjamin.
Yeah. Two people saying $100.
Yeah.
Then we're not taking call here. We're gonna take call in Liberia first. Then we'll take the call from here later. All right. Yeah. So like I was saying, we have two people that sent $100. Then we have one person $25. So we'll keep updating as we go.
Well, let's get to the line, Melbourne. Let's take some calls from our people. Let's hear from them. Then we'll have some time on the radio here. Let's take some calls.
Okay.
Join us.
Wonderful. So let me go to the line and pick more calls. So let's call. Good evening. The line already start blinking. Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Yes. And I just want to say thank you to you guys for you to make our voice to be heard in Liberia. I have 3 questions. Please help me. Please allow me just 1 minute to conclude. Yes. The first question is Mr. Kane. One, don't worry yourself to come to Motor for nothing. Keep your name in your number in there. Number 1. Number 2, it's good to be back to where you come from, not where you come from, not where you're going. That's why it's so reductive. Number 3, I just want to tell the Liberian people that looking is speaker. Francis Kofa is now a speaker. We continue telling you that Francis Kofa is now a speaker. We will not do it. Still more election in the play, more case in the play at the end of the day. The people say we're not going to get the school.
All right. Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening. Hello?
Good evening, Mom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, Mom. My name is Steve Ashley. I'm calling for Chicken Factory.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I listen to you guys, but I don't know who in the country people can tell about us that because the issue of snow, that snow was every snow never had its number. When they keep it full, it never had its number to put for it. So that one removing it had its number. So that why it resigned. But in the case the people that were 51 yesterday, but they go read their own number, they were 41. Some of the numbers stay away. People have to understand the country and follow the law. I'm listening to my brother saying there in the city, that's finished yet. My brother, don't just listen to the program on learn to, you must listen to it to learn. I listen to the program to learn from people that on the show. That has be too emotional.
All right. Thank you so much. Let us not be too emotional to today's caller. Good evening. Hello? Yeah, my dear. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I join you for the dancing populated suburb of our capital. need to go to election to vote for lawmakers any longer. Because these people, we thought that these people to sit down and follow the law that they have made. So all of us to follow as people in our country, but they come to tackle the law that is making. So I believe what they have done, nobody gave them the leverage of President Waka, because President Waka was to start violating the constitution of our country. So the reason why these guys are behaving the way they are behaving is because the leverage have been given to them by the executive and everything that they are doing at the capital is all because the president consented to that behavior.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Let's move to Pascal David. Pascal, you gave the people power, and the people that are using the same power to do what they want to do. No more respect. What's going on? Good evening.
Well, violence against by force. So, as they are uncivilized, and so we will equally become civilized. We have expected that these people claiming to be lawmakers to organize themselves properly. Look, one of the worst things is that the people themselves were supposed to be the one to realize themselves that these people are supposed to.
Hello. All right. Keep a call coming 0777 and Pascal David. Pascal, think you out for the day. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother. Your name and from where you join us?
Yeah, this is Samson Wilson calling from Asmo Street.
Yeah, go ahead, something.
Yeah, thank you, Mom, Milfon, Steve, and Mr. Carmen. But my intention is due to experience that he provided that 3 separate branches of government and then no one easily interfere with their friends, except for the executive that we are almost to ask for interfering with the removal of the speaker from the COFA. But then, if for the judicial end now, that is my concern now, try to intervene as they will be doing and then provide a ruling. And the majority group refuse, or the majority black refuse to add on the ruling that will be coming from up there. Is it also possible that tomorrow they impose a season interpretation or was something on polling that is the judicial arm supposed to be providing clarity when the lawmakers on the very heart of representatives of the Republic run to that Supreme Court? Do you think the court who can throw the own case or throw important information that's supposed to be beneficial to the country out as they will be taking decisions standing on their rules and orders according to their own rules and orders, really? And because their rules and orders is not appointed and banned by the Constitution. So that's why I want to more.
All right, thank you so much. 0777 285 961. Liberians are speaking out. Keep a calls coming to 0777 285 961. That's the number for you to call here on the SKTV show. This evening we are discussing about what happened at Capitol Hill. Mind you, the Supreme Court also put halt to all of the activities and say, go back to where you used to be and do your work, and also come for conference. I think that will be on the 9, right, Steve? But keep a calls coming 0777 285 961 and be part of the SKTV show. Please, 1 minute. Just go straight. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
All right. So I think you're not getting also. Keep a calls coming 0777 285 961. That's the number. And we also have our WhatsApp number. Some of you were calling me from overseas.
So maybe if you don't have a lot of callers, then we can open the lines here because a lot of people want to participate from the diaspora.
Okay, good. You good. I think that's another way. We need to put calling back where.
So we want to do that?
Yes, I want you people to also take calls from that side.
Okay. So yes, those of you who are calling, you can call in. Okay, the one person already on the line. So caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
This is Emmanuel Zaza.
Emmanuel Zaza, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure to be on your platform. Thank you for giving me the time.
For sure.
I think I love Monk. I love his analysis, but I think he's being a little bit political and propagandist.
Why?
The petition sent to the court, Speaker Kofa, it have 4 counts. Let him read them. He didn't say the man said there's no constitutional issue, there's no illegality. Let him read through them for us. Those are all I'm listening to him because I got a copy. And what he said about it is not the reality. Number 1, he stated constitutional issue. Number 2, he stated constitutional issue. Number 3, everything he quoted inside that you constitutional issue. Somebody that says it's not constitutional, it's just political. I don't know which one he read it from. So let him help us to read the entire thing on the show if we leave. That's the first thing. The second thing, we think about the court can do nothing. The reason the court can do nothing in Liberia is because those are supposed to enforce the law, they don't enforce the law. If the court comes up in America here and say arrest Emmanuel Zaza, the judge don't have to leave from your office to come look for Emmanuel Zaza. The police will start to look for Emmanuel. All the other agencies will start to look for Emmanuel. Those are responsible. So if the Supreme Court comes up in Liberia tomorrow and say, majority blood, you are wrong, the Senate can refuse to work with them in respect of the Supreme Court. That's how things work. But the reason it doesn't work like that, the reason the courts are not respected in our country, all of us who are outside, we expect the person who is being hired by the court, who they are judged to be the one to enforce the law. No.
Thank you.
If they say that the majority blood is wrong, then the Senate decide not to work with them, and then the Senate decide not to work with them. That's how folk can enforce law in the country.
Emmanuel, thank you so much. I'll take the next caller. Let's go to Mr. John Maulo here. Mr. Maulo, are you there?
Yeah, hi, Sekou and Mark and Steve.
Yeah, quickly, 1 minute.
Steve, I mean, Sekou, I'm listening to you guys talking as if these people are some God Almighty, they can do what they want. Every single person or agency in this country is subordinate to the decisions of the Supreme Court, even the president. If the Supreme Court says something, you will abide. Unless you're not a Liberian citizen, you will abide. So that nonsense that they're passing around, our rules, your rules is subordinate to the Constitution. There is no politics outside the Constitution. Every politics is played in the Constitution. So let them stop that nonsense of fooling themselves. Yes, things have happened before, but does that mean things can change? The right thing needs to be done. And if they decide to disobey the Supreme Court, we the people, like Steve said, we the Liberian people, just like they think they got rules, we the Liberian people are above all. We can ask all of them to leave, and they must leave. So this nonsense that these people passing around like they can do everything is a lie. And yourself trying to talk as if they're doing something. The thing is wrong.
Mr. Maulo. Mr. Maulo.
Talking about the Constitution.
Mr. Maulo, thank you. Thank you so much.
I have a caller here, please, Mr. Kane. I've been holding.
All right, just after this other caller then.
All
Caller,
right,
what is your name and where you calling from? 240 number. Last four DJ 6626.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, what is your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Chansey, calling from Maryland, USA.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm following the program, and I just want to say something more. Keep emphasizing on the thing that this something is political, for which it is true. I respect him for that. But where in these guys are going, those notorious criminal court and say majority block are going to the extent of appointing speaker when we already have speaker that already exists, and they have not yet used the due process to remove the man. Then they're going about calling other entity to not do business with the man. It is very illegal. It is not legal. So that's the law aspect of it, that the law has to come in to clarify that whether what they are doing it is right or not. And secondly, too, our problem in our country, I think we need to see that we need to revisit the Constitution. You see, this is what happens when you put a lot of incompetent people somewhere where they don't even know their left and their right. Look at the man said they swear in to be the new speaker. And the second speaker, look at he don't even know the hand to use for swearing. And also,
but what they put as well the man in? Why they couldn't tell the man to use your right hand instead of left hand?
No, that's the problem. Maybe that is what this is where the educational aspect comes in. And this, we should have some respect and regard for that body, that part of the constitution that is responsible for the law. And this, let us put in place system wherein people who occupy that position, at least they should get some type of BSM something, man. But you just go tell some people from the Plainfield, some people from the Jongwestern market, Rallytown market, all kinds of things, you just put them over there. What do we expect?
That Plainfield job there, that one going to Thomas Fala. Yeah, you stop it, man. Thomas Fala, now you're darling boy. Thomas Fala, then one that.
No. It's not just about Thomas Fala, but let me tell you something. I can say this for fact. What the garden doing? The other people just waiting. As soon as what the garden doing, if it succeed by using that means, the senator going to use that same means to you to remove your Kaka. And like if the body going to hold the people who are responsible for the law and the head of that area, who if they allow this thing to go on, people will use that to do any other thing in the country, maybe to remove the president, to go and
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother. Steve, back to you. We'll take other callers to later. Go ahead. Steve, we're not hearing you. You're muted.
Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, this is Abraham calling from New Jersey. Thanks, man, Steve, and thanks, Sekou and Mong, and of course, Mego and Nigeria. Great show and great topic, guys. You guys are playing your part, Collectively, I think we all try to make this country a better place. 3 things I really want to touch on real quick. Sekou talk about the behavior of President Bouaka in Sierra Leone. He was on point. If this had been any Mandingo-oriented name or Muslim-oriented name that go in any other neighboring countries to exhibit such an attitude, today you got people in the street in Liberia demanding to step down. But indeed, Bouaka proves to this country that he had affinity for Sierra Leone. By the way, Steve, for the last 50 years, I don't know of any record, state of record that any president has driven from Liberia to any other neighboring country by road. But because Bouaka has affinity for this country, that's why he decided to drive by road to go there. I just wanted to state that. Secondly, you talk about, I think I turned it earlier on, the reason this country is failing in the rule of law and governance effectiveness is because of this kind of behavior. So the West, America, Washington is watching with keen eye. They don't make any mistake to fill Liberia in those 2 categories under the MCC. That's why I wanted to state that. And thirdly, the constitutional aspect of the petition by Speaker Kofa, they are indicated that it's not only about their rules, he also questioned the constitutional behavior of this guy. So it's all part of his petition that goes to Mong too. So indeed, it encompasses both their rules and the constitutional aspect of it. But here's the thing to say, if you have a reckless government, a reckless leader, this is what you get. And in the final analysis, people have to rise up to this occasion. Because why? This is just a prelude to what to come to 29, Steve. These people are going to hijack the electoral process in our country, and they will confirm elected position unto themselves. Under the guise of this is our rule. So people got to watch out for now. This is just a pure power grab. The citizens got to rise up. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Yep.
Let's take another caller from here.
Nobody got any caller there?
Steve, caller, what is your name? Where are you calling from? 443 number, last 4 digit 4168.
Yes, hello. This is Aliyu Masari. I'm calling from Maryland.
Aliyu, what's up, my brother?
My brother. Yeah, thanks you guys for the show. They quote here about this speaker remover. You see, I don't understand how our country is being, because we get a constitution that governs this country. President Bouaka or campaign or respecting rule of law, and he came, he said no business as usual. But now this president, he was the first person when he came to power, and he showed to win the Liberian people he had no respect for rule of law. And those people, that's why they are going back, because if President Biden was to come, he can be on respecting rule of law. If you want to go by this, we couldn't have seen what is happening in the country today. But these things are happening as a result of having an irresponsible government, an incompetent president who has no record of conflict resolution, nothing he knows about governance. He's undermining his own government, because this is undermining his government. From the beginning of this whole thing, we expected President Biden to have known better. If the people can get the 49, call your lawmaker behalf close door. This is my government. This is going to undermine my government. You people can go back to work and you can still lobby and get your signature. But instead of putting money into it to remove a speaker unconstitutionally, illegally, this is the result. This is what we voted for. And this is what we are seeing today. So we watch and see what's going to happen. But this is so sad. President Black has 42 years experience to be that incompetent and to run an irresponsible government in our country. This is so sad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a last caller if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Moses, this is Sharif calling from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Sheriff, can you put some volume in your voice, please, so the other people can hear you?
Yes, is it loud?
Yeah, I think it's much better.
All right. I think this is bigger than what we think. And journalists.
His line is breaking. His line breaking. We're not hearing everything.
Can you guys hear me now?
Is it better?
Is it better now?
Yeah.
For me, I'm not hearing it. So maybe other people can hear him, but I'm not hearing it. It's just breaking.
Shall we say again? Talk.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, I think it's better now. I can hear you.
Yeah. I mean, is it better now?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. I think this is bigger than what we think. And I urge every journalist in Liberia and talk show host. You know, you guys are responsible to enlighten the masses or your listener on these type of issues. We are just letting these people to do the wrong thing. And here's my reason for saying this. We should now be educating Liberians, the voters. I understand it's frustrating at times to be educating people over and over and they're not listening. But your responsibility as a journalist or talk show host is to continue to do what is best. Now, we're not doing that. We should be now educating Liberians that, hey, it's wrong. Even though it happened yesterday, it's not a group precedent. There's no law to supersede the Constitution. A lawmaker coming out to say, hey, we're going to take the constitutional mandate to our house, but the Constitution cannot do anything to us. Are they telling us, or you guys on the show today, telling this idea that this is politics? Are you guys telling us tomorrow in 2029, and this is to buttress another previous caller, that in 2029, when these guys come up and say, listen, we're going to change our electoral laws to favor ourselves, that we should stay here for so many years, that Brother Sekou that is now aspiring to be a senator for Monserrato County, he will be denied. Is it telling us that it's going to be because of the politics?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's insinuating.
Right. So we were doing this here on understand, but we should not allow politics to play into our laws.
Thank you.
There's no place, just to make the final statement, there's no place for any law.
We gotta go.
Thank you.
We have another caller, so we gotta react to the people.
Go ahead, Mr. Kone.
Yeah. Hello, Benjamin Jonah. How you doing, sir?
Hello, this is the Honorable Suggestion. Thanks for having me.
Go ahead, sir.
And so first of all, I think sometimes I don't blame some of us, all of us, that when you get used to a lot of bad things, sometimes when you see the right one is coming, sometimes it's hard for you to accept it. However, I am sure 99.9% of us never believe that ever in the history of Liberia that a president will concede with the amount of vote that President George Weah, former President Weah, conceded to. That only tells you that things are changing. Liberians have gotten more involved. So this whole attitude about that it was done wrongly, so we should allow it. No, I don't think. I don't think that should happen. The second thing is that there's a lot of clerical errors and some missteps done by those rebel groups. In fact, in the Constitution, it says, even let's say that they went through all of their processes. It says to remove the speaker, you need a vote of 2/3. Guess what happened there when they were, after they counted their numbers, they were 41. And you know how they did vote? They used a nil and yea and nil. How do you determine a 2/3 vote with a yea and nil? Who can do that math for me? I beg anybody, please tell me how can you define a 2/3 by doing yea and nil? It's not possible. And even in fact, in their own rules again, 9.3 talks about their voting should be a secret ballot. Did that happen? No, but those are clerical errors that can be corrected. But again, this idea that because it was wrong before it happened, so we should allow it, I think that should be abused, and we should be talking about the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. So maybe I want to say something because we're about to go now. So maybe we can go around and just make give our final conclusion on these issues being discussed.
Well, again, let me say thanks to our international callers. Like usual, Monk and myself, when we're here, sometimes we give the opportunities to our people also on that side, and I'm so impressed because there are a lot of calls been coming, but sometimes we got to listen to Liberians outside. So again, I'm thinking about asking a few questions, but almost all of the callers already asked and they said some of these things. But because mind you, the layman in the village or in the bush who listening to us want to understand some of these things. Because when we come here and say, oh, it is their rule, or it is their own standing rules that making them to do what they're doing, sometimes people will be confused and they want to know also then what happened to the Constitution. So I think Monk and you, Sekou, when you are talking about the rules, also link the rules with the Constitution and let the people know that the Constitution, it is the organic law of the Republic of Liberia. And no man, let me be frank, even with all the things we're saying today, oh, yes, the people, they have no jurisdiction. No. At the end of the day, the judicial branch of government, it is the only independent branch of government that we're going to listen to all of the holding and putting. So for me, so far, I think this is wrong. Our people need to be educated on something happening and let our lawmakers be frank and let them pay attention to the court ruling or what coming up for the court and be able to respect the court. Let me be frank. All of them are following and reading all their posts and comments and so forth. You have to respect the rule of law. It's not because maybe you are lawmaker. Who made you to be lawmaker? It is the same Constitution. It is the Constitution that made to be representative through the people voting. So why you want to maybe run away from the law? No. So you have to pay attention to the law. If somebody go to court and carry a complaint, follow the court proceeding and go and do the right thing. So thank you. Yeah.
Monk, what is your pattern comment for our people?
One thing I love, right? That's why I say we that were fortunate enough to travel from that country. The reason, one of the leverages or one of the advantages of traveling to other parts of the world, it expands your level of thinking and understanding. This whole idea that just because it's Supreme Court, I always agree with my senior man, Mr. Malo. I always talk to Mr. Malo and Chairman Yato behind the scene, even when we were on the program or not. I respect a lot of his view, but he was wrong on something. Just because the Supreme Court, look, the same Constitution set a limit for the Supreme Court. That's why they call separation of power. The only branch of government, that's why they keep telling you, when you cannot understand the process or the practices that you exercise every day, then don't get involved in democracy. That's why some people believe in dictatorship or military government, because democracy is so complicated. You know why I want to reference Mr. Malo? Mr. Malo, let me give you a typical example. I always love to use America as the precursor for everything. Recently, when Jack Smith filed an indictment against Donald Trump for the January 6th, the Supreme Court ruled that the President of America is granted a blanket immunity for decisions he makes in office. so that the protest is guaranteed under the First Amendment of America. But a president cannot determine the outcome of a protest. So whether people get injured, whether people get killed, he is given blanket immunity for decision as chief executive. Do you know what Jackson Smith did after the Supreme Court rule? He went and filed a superseding indictment even after the ruling of the Supreme Court, because he understands that's why the Supreme Court are the one that's supposed to interpret the law. There are also limits to the Supreme Court. So just because they are Supreme Court, not anything that they will say become law and final. Just know that even in America, after the Supreme Court rule, a federal grand jury went and filed a superseding indictment to define the scope of what they call presidential immunity. So I just want to correct my senior brother on that. That's why I keep saying there's a political matter. There is not a one-size-fits-all thing, because even your Supreme Court, by the same constitution, got a limit that they cannot exceed. Come on, man. That's politics, bro.
Thank you. Well, there's kind of what's in you.
Yeah, so I know many of people kind of misconstrue our stance on these things, especially when it comes to our own opinion as to what is going on vis-a-vis the new, election and the removal of the speaker and the rest of it. I am not saying that everything they are doing is right or is legal. But I'm telling you, emphatically, that whatever they are doing is political. And this issue will be resolved politically. The Supreme Court, we don't know what will be their ruling. We don't know yet. But even if the Supreme Court rules and said, you know what, you'll go back to status quo ante, nobody's going to say you're going to resolve this only among yourself at the end of the day. Because the Supreme Court is not going to go vote. They're not going to tell them how to vote. They're not going to tell them what rule they follow as to how they can carry on their vote. What I'm saying here, I'm not saying these guys are right, but I'm telling you, simply because they are on the side of the executive, and these things being orchestrated by the executive, anything the executive wants, that's what the executive will get in Liberia. Because the only group of people that could stop this is the Liberian people.
Yeah.
And they are not ready to step up to change.
That's why they don't want to take responsibility. That's the bottom line.
The regular people, they don't want to get up and demand their right and demand the right thing to be done. They want to far beyond the Supreme Court to do the job for them. And the Supreme Court got limit.
Yeah.
Supreme Court got limit. When it comes to political issue, the people can decide that. When it comes to legal issue, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter. Only you people, and you think whatever happening is wrong, constitutionally is wrong, for the country is not right, the presidents are not good, blah, blah, blah. All you need to do, get on the street and contest. Say we don't want it, we don't want it. And besides that, if majority of the people who voted for the speaker say they don't want him, whether they are enough, they have enough number to remove him constitutionally. If they say he can't sit down under his gavel to function, to work, how is the speaker going to function?
Yes.
Let's forget about removing him. Let's say Fanatic but the person, you know what, we're not going to work with you. The best thing Fanatic can do is to say, you know what, I'm okay, resign. But similarly, if majority of the country, let's say 400, 500,000, 800 people voted for Joseph Boakai to make it president, 900 people, 1,000. If 500 people get out tomorrow, or even 300 people get out tomorrow and get on the street consistently for 1 month, say we don't want Joseph Boakai, we run our country proceeding wrongly. First, we want to resign. But the point is, they don't want to do their work.
They don't want to do their work. That's the problem.
For you. The people of Liberia, if they think what this is wrong, let them get on the street and contest it. Say, no, it's not right. We want to make sure Speaker Kofa remain there. That's the right thing to do. Not just a handful of people, when a few CDC will come there on the street, when they finish their guys, they 1 or 2 times, just like they did the other people, then they run away and finish. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about real Liberians who will get it, they will disagree with this decision. It is against us. All we need to do, get on the street and contest the action of the people. Make the play ungovernable for them. Make the play hard for them. Whether it's the joint chamber or the regular chamber, make sure they don't say that. But you know what happened? If the executive is supporting them, When you go there, the police will pour hot water on you, and you will go home, and then they will do their job. They will get their money. Then the money will start going around. All they do is put your tail there behind your something and go back and start working with them again, because you people got no moral, no integrity, nothing. Most of you who can talk politics, you're all one-sided. You only saying this because it's against somebody that you support.
Yeah, they begin.
It's not because you're not doing it because it's right.
Yeah,
Or because it's
I
wrong.
think you end the argument.
Yeah,
you
you're
end the
all
argument.
one-sided. You're nobody doing it because they are law abiding or they believe in the rule of law. Capital will remove illegally. What happened? Nothing. Speaker Cooper going to be removed illegally. Nothing happened. In Liberia, when you are the president, when you are government, you do whatever you want and nothing will happen. Plain and simple.
So let me give my own take quickly. Me, I've been very, very clear about certain things. I agree with Monk. I agree with Siku. I agree with Milburn. The bottom line, the fight has been taken out of the ring. The public will decide the fight. It's become a street fight. Because even you go to the Supreme Court, let me tell you today, the Siku and Monk said, the Supreme Court will say you go talking among yourself. Let me say again. In talking among yourself, these guys will maintain their position. Fanati will maintain a position. But the executive will work with these guys, which will make them, whether you like it or not, illegally legitimate. And they will work together. But here is something that's very important. I want to say this on the show. You know, when your country who leave everything to God, this is what happens. How many police people they got in Liberia? That's supposed to scare it. That's supposed to scare all of your emotions. How many police people they really get? Since I've been watching the riot thing, I've been seeing. I see 15 policemen with riot gear. You want to tell me the Liberian people, no policemen that are looking hungry, they let them eat for a couple of days. You ain't want to stand against them. Jesus not coming to save you. The Americans not coming to step into this foolishness. You're going to take the bull by the horn. This, let me say this, if you skip this opportunity,
yes,
boss will take you for a ride. The boss will take you for a ride. This is a litmus test. The reason I'm saying this is this. I could care less about the fanatical farmer. I could care less about the cool man. What I care about is the precedent that you're willing to accept. The thing that you're willing to accept in the name of you're protecting this peace. This peace that you're protecting, you boys are killing the future, eating the future from you. You better stand up to them. You better send a message to them that you're not fools in that country and you're not willing to accept this. The sooner you do it, the better your life will come back on course. Who told you they're not afraid of you? Don't be afraid of the Liberian people. Let me tell you today. I'm not saying go pay a group of people that who will go and go eat the money and they come out and say, oh, they're going to regroup. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying let's see what manner people stand up to this. You'll rise up. You'll rise up. Your leader calling international community and reading press conference and all the foolishness. It hasn't worked. It will not work. God coming to Liberia. God not coming there. Even the Israel that you believe in, they're fighting war and killing people even till today. Just sit down there and you're a lot of boys to step on you. The next thing they will do, they will sell our country to you. They will sell our country on you. They will eat your children in the future and you will not do nothing. The first thing they will say, you guys are punks and you don't know what's going on. Don't wonder why you call lawmaker. That means you call them honorable when you can steal as well call you honorable. No, I don't call people who steal honorable. I don't. I'm careful how I use the word honorable. Just sit down there and you're allowed to boys to run you. You're allowed to run you. You'll be taking side because the person from United Party and the other person from Kun and the other person from this.
And the other interpreting as always.
Taking side. You'll be taking side. The future going, life is going on yet. You'll be supporting one group so they can pass budget and give you $10, give you $25, or put something in your pocket. You can support one group that won't pass the budget. And you'll be there, you'll be doing all kind of funny things with yourself. Like your own future you're playing with, and your life you're playing with. Your man,
Steve, the way Mr. Cullen just ended all the debate, I don't think I even want to talk about this anymore because it just like no matter how we're stimulating the people that have taken side mentally, they just will never get the overall picture. And the way Sekou explained it today, he know how to make things very simple for anybody to understand. And I just why it is because we have been saying that thing here forever. The reason most of the time a speaker will say, you know what, let me just throw in the towel and resign, because he understands that in a political fight, a constitutional interpretation is not going to be the one to rescue, not going to be his saving grace. Because the very constitution get limit to your judicial branch of government. They got limit. That's why they get separation of power. That's why in your laws, the only people that can write laws to make improvement are the lawmakers. Even your executive. That's why when the president passes a law, it becomes temporary. But when lawmakers impose a law, it becomes permanent because they can go to their rule, they can make update to their rule, they can even make amendment to constitution. The Supreme Court can only make an interpretation, but equally so, the very same Supreme Court that you think that will come settle this court, there is a limit to their work. That's why they call the separation of power. That's why the guys are telling you they cannot interfere in our legislative activity because that's what the Constitution also says. So how can you be seeking redress from people who are also limited? So it's all political. That's the logic you don't want to understand because for you, you're waiting for some messiah. You don't want to take responsibility because in any normal country, the very first course of action, people will start calling a respected lawmaker. Gentlemen, you guys are doing the wrong thing. Every constituency will start making that phone call. They will put the pressure on the lawmaker. They will go and change their own rule and put the nonsense to an end by putting in place certain rules and measures that will stop this situation from happening in the future. But no, you don't want to do that. You think that SKT will be the solution or that the Supreme Court will be a solution. That's what your problem is. You always want to fix that. You're not looking for a solution.
And what I may just add to you, these are the same rules that make them to be making some of the fast salaries, some of the incentives and so forth. Like my brother Steve not thinking about running to become maybe representative or senator and make more money. So Mark, what the only thing is
take it back. Take it back. Take it back.
No.
Take it back.
Hello, my young man. You admitted you said when you win, you're gonna make the same salary. You said that.
Take it back.
Why would you think about was there the same show?
Take it back.
What are you taking back?
My man, take it back. And I'm running for the opposition.
You said that.
People say you're interested in running, and I'm running for the opposition. Take it back.
Okay, you're not running. Okay, that's good. Okay, so Steve. All right, so Steve not running anymore.
No, don't say anymore. I'm not told you I'm running. Take it back. So not bring up them. I beg you.
Mark, let me just add on to you and Steve. Let me brief him before I go quickly on the radio. Even though you people are saying the facts, but I just respectfully disagree to say the people are sitting or maybe the judiciary branch will not help Monk. No country function without the judicial system. The reason why America is powerful today, the reason why even during the time of the elections, you people were still working and still getting all of your things, and even the system was still powerful, is because of the rule of law. The thing that killing this country today is because of the lack of the rule of law. Nobody wants to respect the rule of law. So, Monk, I know the common man will come here and they will call in to tell you that how they feel and how they understand. But you and myself, it is upon us to educate them and tell them, no, the way you think is not how things go. So all the people today that are calling, some of them, it's not about who they support. Let me be frank, majority of the Liberian people, they are not supporting who or maybe who is speaker, whether it's Fonadi Kofa, whether it's Rachel Kuno. But what they are saying is that let the rightful thing be done.
And why the definition of the rightful thing by the same law?
You said?
Why is the definition of the rightful thing by the same constitution? Because one version of the constitution say the Supreme Court should be the one to interpret the law. Another version of the same constitution tell you that there is a constitutional limit that they cannot overstep the bound by engaging into legislative matters.
The Supreme Court never overstand or maybe over function their bound monk. It is the same legislators that ran to the Supreme Court.
So not like a speaker ran to the Supreme Court, not the legislature. So get out fast right.
But is the president lawmaker monk? So monk got to be fair in this. It is lawmaker that went to the Supreme Court. The
Well,
Supreme Court never come and say, okay, we're looking for a case, we're looking for a case. Or maybe that, for example, maybe what happened between you and Steve. No. It is the same lawmakers that went to the Supreme Court. So now the Supreme Court say, okay, so you come to if I say you bring case to us, let us understand exactly what's going on. So Monk, I think we gotta be fair to our people a little bit and be able to educate them on some of these little things, because it doesn't mean that because something happened in 2006 or maybe 2011 or 2013 or 2014, that means it should continue. No. Thank you.
Let me say this before you leave. Let me say this quickly. Thank you. Folks, just so you know, with all the noise the United Party-led administration made, all the big moves they made, they failed the Millennium Challenge. They failed.
Yeah, they pass half.
They not pass half, they fail. My man, when you fail, you fail.
I said they pass half, women are 50.
My man, they fail. Something that fail. When I say pass half, give that story. Don't worry about them. 50, they fail, my people. They fail bigly. All the noise, what they made, that they know everything. They failed the Millennium Challenge. Joseph Boaga received a big fat F. Joseph Boaga is a failure in the 1st year. He failed. You don't see old men fail. Joseph Boaga failed bigly. So the United Party people who were making all the noise that they know this, they know that they fail, my people. Can you imagine? They failed the Millennium Challenge. They failed. And the areas that they failed were found to these areas. More why you laughing at the past?
How you can go interpret that?
That's a good answer. They failed bigly.
So before we go, let me tell you this. All the people are talking. The rule of law.
Yeah, I get time for the food, bro. I know
let's follow the law. Let's do the right thing. You know what? It's not the right thing because it's against their party person. Because it's against CDC person. Or because it's against somebody that they support.
True.
If they're going to be, the shoe going to be on the other foot. The same people that are celebrating today, they're going to say they're not the right thing.
That's true.
No, I don't respect all of these people then. Their support is based on party loyalty, connection, tribalism, and all the other things. But they will come and pretend as if to say they are for the rule of law, they support the law, they support the... None of them support any law.
No, they are interested in the law, for sure. They are not.
They are all a bunch of fake people. Supporters of CDC will go down and say this is wrong, it's against the law, it's not respecting the law. You know, the party people will dance, is the law, is the law, this is the right way, this is the right thing to do. Similarly, CDC was in power, every law that CDC broke, CDC supported it, and they didn't think it was against the law. So who are they to listen to come and lecture somebody about the rule of law here? That's my point. This is why what is wrong today is wrong tomorrow, is wrong after tomorrow. Don't say it's wrong today because it's against you, then tomorrow you come and do the same thing to other people. CDC, Unity Party, and the Liberian people as a whole, all of you supporting your people then because your personal connection, your party connection, tribal connection, or country connection. But not because you believe in the rule of law, you think the wrong thing should be attacked, and we should do the right thing. Like Mawolo and other people there, Mr. Mawolo and other people, they want the right thing to be done. They think, if it's wrong today, it's wrong tomorrow. But the people that you're supporting, they don't care about that. They don't care about rule of law.
No, they are not interested in that.
If it is their policy that is wrong, if they're the one doing it, that is right. They are the same. So that's why we told you this is politics. And it's going to be handled politically, and at the end of the day, nothing will happen. You will just cry a little bit. They will pacify you. They will buy time, and then the muffin one among you, the louder one among you, they will get that small money. At the end of the day, they will put their tail between their legs and go.
Steve,
and that will be the end.
Steve, let me just make this point, right? You know, when you really study the three branches of government, right? You know there can be problems that could arise from either branch of government. Let's assume that it was the executive. The Supreme Court can put an immediate remedy to a situation coming from the executive branch. That is why of the three branches of government, only lawmakers do have the power to expel, whether it's the Supreme Court justice or the president, or impeach them. Because the one reason there is no branch of government, everything is fundamental or premise on the law, right? The only group of people that can write law in our country are the people that are in the first branch of government. They are the only one that can change their own rules. They can go and make amendment to constitution. They can impeach a president. They can impeach a Supreme Court justice. They are the one giving more power. So whenever problem comes from lawmaker, it's very hard to be solved constitutionally because it's always political because of that power that is given to them. That's why make it compound complex. That's why Fanatic who happens to be the lawyer, he said, oh, it's a violation of our own rules and procedure, even though he makes some references to the constitution, but he knows it's mostly political. All I am saying on this show, and Sekou said it relevantly, after today, I don't want to talk about the topic because I don't think you can break it down any further than what Sekou did. The simple matter here is, no matter how long you drag this thing, once it originates from our lawmaker, the possibility of you getting a redress from the Supreme Court is slim to none. They will just come up with that opinion. They will run that opinion. Y'all will be here again and say, those guys will come and say, you know what? The very law says you cannot interfere in our administrative procedure. That's the Constitution. That's what the law says. So just because you are the Supreme Court, you are the one giving that leverage to interpret the law, it does not mean that you don't have a limit. There is a limit to also the Supreme Court. And the only people that are giving that overaction power in government, in a democracy, is a lawmaker. If they can settle it among themselves, then you, the people, can settle it. But the problem is, no, they don't want to take responsibility. They're looking for a savior. They're looking for a messiah. Call your lawmaker independently from every district. You put the pressure on them. You set the rules. They will make changes to that law and set the precedent. But for no, you don't want that. You want beyond fanatic over. You want beyond Thomas Farasa. You think that El Clasico. You don't want to seek solution. You don't want redress. No, you want to pick a side. That's your problem in Liberia. You always want to pick a side. The same way you vote. When you go vote, you don't look at the presidential candidate to determine which one will give you the country the better leverage. No, you only interested in picking a side, even when the country end up being a loser. That's how you can operate in that country. So when people come with information that contrary to your belief, no, then you got problem with them. Among the thing talking in makes sense. You know, sometimes I can enjoy Mong and Steve, but sometimes when they take position, I can't understand what they're saying. No, you understand exactly what we are saying. You just don't want to accept the fact that we are giving you because you have pre-programmed your mind to pick a side in this fight. And Sekou ended this argument long and for all, and I think we're done with it.
Well, and that's why I told you from day one, Mom. When I come on the show, I don't come to please any one of these people that watch the show because you know what I mean? Today they will be for you. As long as you're talking something that quote unquote in their favor. When you're saying the truth, that against them, then they go against you because then you're biased and you're not patriotic and you're not reasoning. And you once you say something that they feel that you're in line with them, whether it is right or it is wrong, oh, that they will find you the best, they will call you objective. The statement that they can use. People then who support people who got no morals. Like for example, or Unity Party partisans or against there, you support yourself. Or men with no moral reptitude, an international and local liar. Then I sort of get there with you. I sort of take what you say to me at face value and take it like important to me. It's not important because the man who you suppose say the man are nothing. He's zero balance. That means he will be on that level. So that what I don't pay attention to them. I don't go by the sentiment. I don't go by the. If you come here, you say, "Oh, you on my side today," like your business. You're not on my side, like your business. I don't care. I will stay with the right thing that's supposed to be done. If CDC is benefiting from it that day, good. United Party, good. But to say I will switch and try to be that quote unquote objective, I don't want to be objective for nobody. I don't want to be objective for nobody. I will say it raw as I can say it.
It's wrong. They find the fight. Even in the minority of one that Gandhi quote. Gandhi said, "Speak the truth." Even in the minority of one, the truth will always be the truth.
my dear, that what me and I be on. Why is this sometimes when they come here, they gonna embarrass me and say all kind of things. They want to say I could care less, and they're not important. I'm not worried about them. Imagine somebody who like wants it like them is weak.
You the one that can pay me up the most, Steve, for our people. You look at people that claim that they want to uphold the law, violating the law. Your national budget, your president, or your pro tem, your speaker, they violate your budget every single day. We talk about reports here, how the guys are ripping you off. Why you were on for Antikova, those guys were even bringing a bill about separating your posts and breaking the National Port Authority. Ain't even worry you. You worry about which side standing over the law. The law is the law. What kind of law you quoting? You know about law? Go ask your legal scholar about political matter. You watch TV in this country. You know, sometimes I can't even tell people about look at the one that live in this country, that watch TV here, that understand politics, that's supposed to know better. When you hear them arguing that, you can be surprised. And like, who told you that just because Supreme Court? No, Supreme Court only render an opinion, and those opinions are based on premises that is set in the past. Now, when you go to the law review and say, "Oh, second for the United States of America," the people can test the lawyer to see how they will interpret it. It mean that when the Supreme Court said didn't mean it become law and order. No, the Supreme Court also come with a limit and constitutional requirement. They got confines of the law they must operate in. That's just the fact.
Well, folks, more, let me agree with you 100%. You know, most of our people in Liberia and outside of Liberia, I'm talking about Liberians as a whole, whether you're in the diaspora in Liberia, everybody, they will preconceived mindset. As long as about their party or somebody relating to their party, they should support them, should stand with them, wrongfully so or rightfully so. Similarly, if the shoe is on the other foot, they should go against it. For them, loyalty is about standing with your party, even for the wrong reason. Loyalty is about going against other people, even if they are right. You should go against it. But then that's the mindset they have. Liberians in Liberia and in the diaspora, even the ones that are living in America here, their mindset is, as long that CDC, if they are CDC is right. As long as it happens to CDC and they are CDC, you got to go against it, regardless. As long as United Party people will always feel that they are right. They're supporting it right now. How come no Liberian cares about what Joseph Boakai is doing right now in the midst of all of the things going on? Joseph Boakai is celebrating while the country is in crisis. He's celebrating wearing uniform with childhood friends.
For a formative year.
For informative years. You know, I mean, formative, that means that's the time Joseph Boakai, you know, that's the whole creation of Joseph Boakai.
Yeah.
And upbringing and everything. So in short, all of you guys that are here, oh, you know, we got to be on the side of the law, but you're not coming here to point to any constitution that is violated. Because you're hearing people saying it. So in short, the Boakai government will get what they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's
yes.
In short, Mr. Kane, my parting statement to you, in short, the Liberian people can change this if they desire to man up and woman up and get some balls. But like you said, Joseph get what he wants.
Let me tell you something. Liberian people can change this thing today. Likewise, the Liberian people can also change Joseph Boakai's illegal behavior, Joseph Boakai incompetent behavior, Joseph Boakai inaptitude. They can change it today. But no, they can't. Because they're not accustomed to
they took a side.
Yeah. It's all about taking side. It's not about, because you know what? Liberian people can only do that when they can collectively do it together for the right reason. Let's say Joseph Boakai is performing so decimally. You feel that Joseph Boakai is not up to the task. You feel that Joseph Boakai is not healthy enough. You feel that Joseph Boakai is outsourcing his responsibility. Whatever reason that you think Joseph Boakai is not, you know, performing, if you can collectively work together in the interest of the country, he will resign. But you know what? By the time you take the street right now, it was going to be CD. It's going to be anybody else.
It would split. Yeah, it would dilute the protest.
It's going to be protests and counter-protests. So who's always say Liberian people say you move? Then they will say who the Liberian people?
No, Sebu, it will be the repeat of COP for the RCOP, independent COP for the team.
So anything you want to do right now, even let me tell you today, if CDC got on the street today or any other Liberian guy on the street, they say, you know what? Whatever going on against Fonante Kofa is wrong. We want this thing to stop. Let's get on the street. You know what happened when they got on the street? You know the party people got on the street on the other side.
Yeah.
And we get what happened? The police will come in the middle.
Mr. Kane,
Everybody go.
Mr. Kane, let me say
Yeah.
this. Let me say this. Let me make the last statement here.
Yeah, me have you know.
What are the party people won't get on the street? CDC people won't get on the street. Let them get on the street. Sometimes, it needs to get worse before it can get better. If the Liberian people don't take a stand, this country is going nowhere. Those boys are ready to do what they will do to destroy this country in the future, especially that one called Jeremiah Kuhn. Anyway, I don't want to go into the fast.
Yeah.
I don't want to get started.
A hint to the wise, right?
Anyway, folks, Mr. Kane.
Don't start in a new team, man.
Yeah,
That's a whole different topic. And that's a whole can of worms we just
going to be the next president of Liberia.
Okay, let Jeremiah go be the next president. Me, I'm not worried.
Nima people got to take the presidency at least.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you soon. Mr. Kane, running out to you. I'll show you.
No, you're not even with me. I'm going. Why am going in stop it?
Okay.
There are things we can do. We bring it, we use and we give it to you. There are things we can do.